1.4% of eligible youth which are enrolled into the university or college programs, and that is according to NCE 2022. This systemic resource gap exerts not only material pressure, but also significant psychological stress on learners who are expected to meet rigorous academic standards within structurally disadvantaged environments. NCE, one of Malawi's principal teacher training institutions located in Lilongwe, exemplifies the resource constraints characteristics of the country's higher education sector. The problem statement: Malawi's statutory education system faces severe resource constraints that compromise educational quality and student success. With only 1.4%, as already stated, youth are eligible to roll into the universities or colleges. The limited access is compounded by systemic under-resourcing of existing institutions, resulting in overcrowds, as already mentioned. But most research on resource scarcity in African higher education only adopts institutional or policy perspectives, but they do not focus on how students adopt or innovate or create alternatives to resource access pathways. The study, therefore, addresses these questions by conducting an in-depth ethnographic investigation of students' resource acquisition behaviors at NCE. So, what is the justification for the study? It was justified that while existing studies have documented resource scarcity, most studies adopt inadequate perspectives that emphasizes what students lack rather than how they actively respond to the scarcity. So, understanding these dynamics theoretically, they will extend the literature which is already there. Apart from that, practically, the research can inform the development of low-cost and equity-oriented interventions that work with students' existing adaptive strategies and not against them. So, the main objective was to analyze how students at NCE navigate resource scarcity through social interactions, peer networks, and to assess the implications of these strategies. The specific objectives were: 1, to identify and categorize the resources perceived as scarce by the students. 3, the second specific, to document and analyze the formal and informal strategies that they employ to acquire, share, and optimize access to resources. And the final one was to examine the role of social interactions, peer networks, and digital technologies in acquisition of resources and sharing of knowledge. So that's the significance. Theoretically, it will contribute to social capital theory and ANT and other educational resilience literature. Practically, it will inform institution policies and student support system. The methodology. The study employed a qualitative research design grounded in interpretivist philosophy, which had to understand the social phenomena from the perspective of those who experience, that's the students at the school. So the sampling approach was proposing the sample size, 30 students who were the participants, and data collection was done through observations, interviews, FDGs, FGDs, and digital diaries. And the analysis was done through thematic analysis. So these are the key findings from the study. We have the power economy, the layer trust network,